You're listening to the Options Insider Radio Network, the home of the Options Podcast. For more quality options programs, visit theoptionsinsider.com or search for Options Insider Radio Network in your podcast provider of choice. Listeners can also access all of our programming through our mobile app available in the iTunes and Google Play stores. Select programs are also available via live stream at mixlr.com/options-insider. That's mixlr.com/options-insider. Don't forget to follow along with your favorite programs and submit your own questions for the hosts at twitter.com/options, stocktwits.com/options, facebook.com/theoptionsinsider, or via questions at theoptionsinsider.com. The Options Insider Radio Network is sponsored by Fidelity Investments. Fidelity's Option Trade Builder tool can help you confidently build an options trade in 3 simple steps. Just choose a strategy, select a contract, and then review the benefits and risks of the trade. Learn more about Option Trade Builder at fidelity.com/options. Options trading entails significant risk and is not appropriate for all investors. Certain complex option strategies carry additional risk. Before trading options, contact Fidelity Investments by calling 800-544-5115 to receive a copy of the characteristics and risks of standardized options. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC, member NYSE SIPC.
Good morning. Today is Monday, December 3rd, 2018. This is your Options News Rundown. I'm Dan Passarelli. Our first story today is from investing.com. It's the top 5 things to know in the market on Monday. First thing to know is U.S. and China reach a trade truce. Fears over a full-blown trade war ease after the U.S. and China, the 2 world's largest economies, agreed to a 90-day ceasefire in their long-standing trade dispute. U.S. President Donald Trump and Chinese President Xi Jinping agreed to hold off on additional tariffs on each other's goods at the start of the new year to allow for talks to continue. The White House said this in a statement on Saturday. The U.S. agreed to leave tariffs on more than $200 billion worth of Chinese products at 10% if after 90 days the 2 countries are unable to reach an agreement. That rate will be raised to 25%. The announcement came after Trump and Xi sat down with their aides for a working dinner at the end of the G20 summit in Argentina. Second thing to know today is U.S. futures pointed to a sharply higher open. U.S. stock futures pointed to strong gains at the start of the trading week. Before the open this morning, Dow were set to jump more than 500 points. Third thing to know today is oil prices surge. In commodities, oil prices jumped as a trade ceasefire between the U.S. and China sparked demand for riskier assets. U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude futures rose by as much as $2.92 or 5.7% to a high of $53.84 before easing slightly to $53.10, still up $2.23 or 4.4%. International Brent crude oil futures rallied by $2.37 or 4% to $61.80. Having risen earlier by as much as $3.14 or 5.3% to $62.59. Fourth thing to know today is the dollar slips. In currency markets, the dollar was broadly lower. The U.S. dollar index was down 0.3% to $96.87. And the fifth thing to know today is Fed speakers and data grab attention. A number of Fed speeches will get the market's attention. Federal Reserve Governor Randall Quarles will speak about the economic outlook and monetary policy on the Council on Foreign Relations in New York at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time this morning. Sounds like he already talked. Federal Reserve Bank of New York President John Williams is then due to deliver opening remarks at the Evolving Structure of the U.S. Treasury Market Conference hosted by the New York Fed at 9:15 a.m. Eastern. Federal Reserve Governor Lael Brainerd will speak at the same event later that day. The comments will be useful for investors who have been scaling back their expectations for future rate hikes following recent remarks from a number of Fed officials that were interpreted as dovish. On the data front, the economic calendar is busy today. The highlight will be the November reports on manufacturing activity from Market Economics and Institute of Supply Management, due at 9:45 a.m. Eastern Time and 10 a.m. Eastern, respectively. Investors will pay particular attention to surveys for any impact tariffs are having on the sector. Our second story today is from investing.com as well. Bloody November for cryptocurrencies. Here are the three biggest losers. Cryptocurrency markets have just finished one of the worst months on record for the asset class, with nearly all the major coins suffering double-digit sell-offs. Underscoring just how bearish the action in cryptos was last month, there are now just 9 digital currencies with a market cap greater than $1 billion, compared to 14 at the end of October. The 5 that dropped off the list were Tron, Monero, IOTA, Dash, and NEM. Of the 9 remaining, all closed the month lower when they had started on the final trading day of November. The market cap for all digital currencies fell to $117.2 billion on November 25th, its lowest levels since August 2017, before bouncing back to close the month at $134.9 billion. And our third and final story today is from CNBC.com. Nexstar to buy Tribune Media, becoming the largest U.S. TV station operator. Nexstar said on Monday it agreed to buy Chicago-based peer Tribune Media for $4.1 billion in cash, making it the largest U.S. TV station operator. Nexstar said it would pay $46.50 per share, representing a premium of 15.5% to Tribune Media's closing price on Friday. Tribune shares rose 10.5% to $44.50. The value of the deal was in line with what Reuters reported on Sunday, citing people familiar with the matter. Including debt, the deal was worth $6.4 billion. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is news you can use for today, December 3rd, 2018, your Options News Rundown. I'm Dan Passarelli, Trade Smart, and have a great week.
Thank you for listening to the Options News Rundown. To learn more about these stories or any other developments from the world of options, visit www.theoptionsinsider.com, the premier source for free options information. The Options News Rundown is brought to you by Market Taker Mentoring, the leader in option trader education. Get trader education, daily trade ideas, and more with a free 1-week trial of Market Taker Mentoring's live Advantage group coaching class by visiting markettaker.com/insider.
The preceding program was a production of the Options Insider Radio Network. For more quality options programs, visit www.theoptionsinsider.com or search for Options Insider Radio Network in your podcast provider of choice. Listeners can also access all of our programming through our mobile app, available in iTunes and on Google Play. Don't forget to follow along with your favorite programs and submit your own questions for the hosts at twitter.com/options, facebook.com/theoptionsinsider, or via questions at theoptionsinsider.com.